Welcome to Polymer Clay TV. I wanted to start off today by saying a big thank you to you because on June 16th, 2015, we have officially been creating Polymer Clay TV for 8 years straight. And we couldn't have done it without you, so a big thank you to you. And just so you know, we are having a big sale, probably the biggest sale we will ever have. And you get 30% off of any products in our shop at polymerclaytv.com, and there's a coupon code you can use, and if you go to polymerclaytv.com you'll see that. So take advantage of it now because you probably won't ever see that sale again. And that's on anything in our shop. I mean, all these wonderful molds we have, all the stamps and the cutters and whatnot. So check it out at polymerclaytv.com. So a big thank you, and we really appreciate your support and staying with us for 8 years. So let's get started now. I wanted to show you some new fun things that I've been working on and different ways you can use molds and cutters and all kinds of fun stuff. So let me start with this mold. This is a shallow mold. As you can see, it's not a typical mold. It's super deep, like something like this one is. This one's much deeper. And the technique that you can do with this is so cool. And let me just give you an idea of that. Look at how beautiful that is. So what I've done is I've taken the clay, and I did it in blue here. I probably shouldn't use blue because the mold is blue and you can't see that great. But the clay is in here, and it's flush with the mold. So I placed my clay in here and had to keep pushing it down and adding it, you know, and then cutting away the extra. So that's the way you do that. So once it's in there, you'll see that there'll be openings for the butterfly wings and the body, and just fill up the mold and you'll know you're done, okay? So let me just move all this. I put all this out here, but let's move it and we'll talk about everything one-on-one so you can get an idea of how everything is done. Okay, so this I've just rolled through the pasta machine. I've conditioned my clay, rolled it through the pasta machine, and I want to say this is about a 2 or 3 thickness. It doesn't matter. Whatever project you're working on, you want to do it the thickness that you want. Now, I'm going to just lay this on top. Now, this is completely in the mold. I don't want to use any release because I want what's in the mold to stick to the back clay. That's the point of this. So, you can give it a gentle roll. You don't want to distort anything, but you want to make sure that the clay that's inside of the mold adheres to this top clay. And you can use your fingers, push it around if you feel like you need to. And then you want to gently, and when I say gently, I mean gently, pull back on the mold and use your finger to help. Oh, if you didn't get it all, go back and gently keep going until the whole design has been then transferred onto that back piece of the clay. Look at how unbelievably gorgeous that is. I mean, it's so beautiful. I love this. I love this stamp. I mean, this mold. I love it. I just love the way it looks. So here it is with the blue on the red. Here it is with the red on the blue. Now this I just made a little tile, but you can certainly come back with an X-Acto knife and cut out your entire design and make it into a gorgeous pendant or something like that. And you would just use an X-Acto blade and just follow your lines. I mean, that's simple. I'm not going to go through all this right now so you don't have to sit here and watch me with an X-Acto blade, but you get the gist. You could totally cut it out and make a beautiful pendant or anything really, whatever you want to do with it. I mean, the sky is the limit. So that's this mold, and this is the butterfly mold, and I should have that in the shop later today so you can take advantage of the 30% off sale. So that'll be nice. So that's one technique, and super easy. Like I said, just make sure it's flush with your mold and shave off the rest with your blade so that it's completely flush and all these little holes are open. Okay? So that's that technique. Love it, love it, love it. Let's move on to the next one. This is a new embosser stamp, and this has some holes in it as well, and it's a really cool piece because you can do so many neat things with it. And So here I have this piece, and let me give you an idea of this pendant I made. Let me lay this down so you can see it. So this is going to be a necklace, I think. What I'm going to do with it is I think I'm going to put some jump rings here and hang some chain. I think that would be really, really pretty. And what this was is a combination of several of the different things that I used. So as you can see, I've stamped onto the clay and created the top part. Okay? Let's see, I have some blue here we can do it on. Now, since it's 99 or 100 degrees here in Florida, literally, today they said it's going to be 100 degrees. So I'm going to use a release. And this is just Armor All Original Protectant, and it's for your car. It's made for your car. It's a silicone, and what it does is it stops the clay from sticking to stamps and sticking to itself. And when it's really hot out, you need some kind of release. Otherwise, everything wants to stick. Take it from me, I lived in Florida most of my life. It becomes a problem if you don't use some kind of release when it's hot out and the clay is hot. And so I can just use my rod to kind of run it over. There's like almost a little channel for it. You can use your hands, you can use your rod, you can put a book down and that would help. But you don't have to go that hard. And then you just pull it off and there's your design. How cool is that? And you want to wipe it off too. You don't want to leave the Armor All on there. You want to wipe that off. Because if you're going to use any kind of pigment or anything like that, you know, that's just going to be in the way. So there you have that, and simple as you can see, and that was just by pressing this into it. Now what I did on this piece here was I cut out on the top part. I didn't texture the bottom, which is the blue. I textured the top, but we could certainly do it either way. And then I have these little cutters that are squares, which come in a set of 3, and they're plunger cutters, so you can easily cut them out. And I just used the smallest one because the smallest one fit into these little holes. So let's do it opposite, since I did this one red on the top. And you just need to go through and cut a few holes into the square. I mean, a few pieces, and you can save these little pieces and use them for other things. I mean, it's totally up to you what you do with them, because you can. I actually did use them. If you see here, 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 and here, so I saved my pieces and did that. And so I think I just did a simple little pattern of cutting them out in like a cross shape. You can see how simple it is, and all you do is push the plunger and it comes out. The one thing that's different between these and the metal cutters, which are called Kemper cutters, is when you push these out, you don't get a little round dot that you have to eliminate afterwards. So that's why I really like these plastic ones. They don't give you that dot. It comes out clean, straight out of the cutter. Actually, I'm not going to save these because we're doing the opposite colors. Let's see how this looks with the texture underneath it too. Since we could maybe offset it or something. I don't know. I don't know that you can really get the full effect. So we'll just lay this on top. Okay, and then I used a cookie cutter. Simple, simple. And cut that out. So by using these little square cutters, you can see into the background, which is a really neat look. And let me stand up so I can see over this. And then I'm just going to use this cookie cutter, give it a little push down, and that's how I achieve that look. I am not exactly straight, but you get the gist. And then peel away your clay from each other, otherwise it'll stick. That way you can, reuse it. So you got the idea on how I created that. Okay, so now I have these 2 molds. And you don't always have to use every part of the mold. And so that's what I wanted to show you. Like on this top part here, I only used a little of the mold. I did not want to use all this little part because that's not the look I was going for. I was kind of going for a more winged look. And so I just used this, and I press my clay in as you normally would on a mold. And then I like to loosen it all up before I try to pull it out, and then gently pull it out. And there I have that. Now then, I just came back and cut off a little bit of the top to kind of make it look nicer. And this bottom has a little extra piece here, which I didn't want. And so you can use it in any fashion you want, any piece of a mold, any piece of a stamp you might have. don't have to use the entire mold. If the mold's bigger than you want or it's not something you want, then just use a part of the mold. And then just trim off any extra that you don't want to use. It's that simple. Okay, so now I have this piece, and as you can see on the top here, I just pieced it on and made that part as well. And like I said, this is not particularly even, so I don't know that I want it to adhere, but you know, just clean it up as you go, and that way it'll look really nice. Okay, so let's just go for it anyways, even though it's not completely, you know, even. So at that point I could place that on there, clean up any other thing. Actually, let's do it a little different since this one went in the four corners. Let's take this red clay and we'll cut out some squares. Let me just do it real fast. And I don't want this to be thick, so I'm going all the way to number 3 on my pasta machine. And I'm going to just cut out some more squares here. Once again, plunging it out as I go. And we're going to put this on an angle so that it goes right here. I don't think we're going to do this exactly as the other one, but you'll get the gist of how it was done. And I think I only need 3 for this, since the way it lined up. And so I'm just following the shape, the way the square is on this base piece. On an angle over here. Okay, and then I used my little swirly tools, which are little ball styluses, and they come, I think there's 4 or 5 in a set, and each end is a different size, which is nice. And basically, I just came and these actually helped me to press it into the clay as well, and just did little dots. I think I'm just going to do a couple on this one. But I start in the top corner, and see, as I'm doing it, it helps to press it and adhere it to the clay. And then on the end, I just kind of went over. I actually did it on here as well, but I don't think I'm going to go all the way. I think I'm just going to put 1 dot at the top for a different look. And that's how you would do that. So then, I've got this mold. So we've used the middle part of this mold to achieve this. Okay, so let me set that aside. And then I've molded just the ends. Let me show you what this mold looks like. It's a beautiful rose. And I could have used it just like this. I could have folded it up. I could have done anything. Turned it around upside down. It's a beautiful mold on its own. But I was going for a different look, so I just molded the ends of this, as you can see here. And so I just want to loosen this up so I don't distort it as I pull it out. And gently pull it out. Same on this side, loosen it up a little before I try to pull it out, and then pull back on that. Okay. And then at this point, of course, you would clean up any extra parts that you don't want. And you could do that either with an X-Acto blade or with a poker or something like that. And so clean it up. And now I noticed on this one side it likes to come apart, but you can easily put it back together. That's what I did with this one, because it wasn't really, I don't think it's really attached in the mold, so I think that's why. And so I'm just cleaning off the extra here until I get it the way I like it. Okay. And so I've cleaned that off, and I would, obviously take a little more time till it's really nice. And let me move this piece of clay that got on there. And then, let's see. Let me turn this around so I see what I did. Okay, so this one goes on this side. Alright, and then this one will go on that side. So let me just clean this up real fast, just with my X-Acto blade, so that it looks nice. And I'll leave that middle piece in there because that's where I'll connect it together like that. Okay, so let me get this over here and flip it all around so you can see. And then I just kind of placed it a little like this and like this. Remove that. And you just play with it and do what you like and what looks good to you. Really, that's the idea behind it. But you want your pieces to touch the other pieces, because if not, it won't adhere. and you want it to adhere so that you can wear it or do what you want with it without it coming apart. So it's a little hard to work upside down, but you get the gist. And it's just that simple. And then I added a little crystal. I have a bag of crystals, and I picked, well, I have a gazillion bags of crystals, but I picked one, and I think I'm going to go with this little, like a Aurora Borealis. If you're not familiar with Aurora Borealis, oh, it's like, it iridesces all different colors, and I just love the way it picks up because it iridesces red, too. Okay. And you know, you just pick whatever size you like here. I'll just go ahead and use this one. Now, you could use, there are tools on the market to help you get your crystals to stick. There's this little thing, I forget where I got it, but it's sticky. It's kind of, I think it's like beeswax, and that'll help you to set your crystals too. Kira uses Fun Tack, which is that stuff that's made for hanging posters. Oops, it just stuck to my finger. Get off. Ah! Come on. This guy doesn't want to stick. My hands must be sticky. Alright. Sorry guys, he's going to drive me bonkers. Get in there. Sometimes it's just better to use my fingers than a tool. Okay, and then I'm pushing in with the other side of the tool. But you could just use a knitting needle to do that. And so that's it. Simple, simple, simple. And then I used some powdered pigments to, I actually used pan pastels to add a little color. And here's a pan pastel. Just get a little on my brush. And kind of just decorate it any way you want. You know, until you like it. I also used some copper dewdrop ink, which is a pigment ink, and use my finger to kind of go around like this as well and give it a similar, impart some other color on it. And really, that was it. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, so let me move that out of the way, and we'll move on to the next thing. And this you would just bake at the recommended temperature on your thing of clay. Oh, my table is messy today, but you get the gist. So this one's already baked. That's what we just did there. I think it's going to make a beautiful pendant. I really like that. I really like how that came out. So the next one are these cutters that I wanted to show you. And these are the Floral Nights, and I just love these cutters. Okay, these are one of my new favorite cutters. I think I say that all the time, every time we get a new cutter, that it's my new favorite. But they just keep getting cooler and cooler and cooler, and I just love them. I just love them. They're easy to work with, and they make some super cool designs. And this is this size and this size. So let's play with those a little. And obviously, you just want to condition some clay until it's soft enough. And today we're not having a problem with that because, like I said, it is going to be 100 degrees out today. And I'm going to make my cat come in. Even though she hates coming in, she is coming in. On days like this, I have to force her to come in, seriously. But anyway, she's black, and a black cat out in 100-degree weather is not a good thing. So these are plunger cutters as well. And just got to make sure that it's in the channel there. And you do that, you know, twisting it. And so I press down and make sure that I cut it. I want to get a nice cut. And then I use my plunger to add that design. And I should have used a release, but I think it's going to work anyways. And there I have it. That's what it looks like in the plunger. Give it a little plunge out and peel it back. And there I have it. I still had blue clay in there from the last one. So clean your plungers and clean your cutters if you don't want to have clay from the last time you used it. And you can clean them with soap and water. Just wash them in the faucet. So there you have that design. And that's the smaller of the two. There's 5 in this whole set. I mean, which is really cool. So it's like if you want to do something big, you know, you can use the bigger ones. And as you can see, I'm not good about cleaning my cutters. I'm really not. Oh, this one I actually just used, so I can't get too mad at myself for not cleaning it since I just did that. All right, so let's see. I got some blue. Let's play around. I have enough. Oh yeah, here's more. And we'll do the bigger one so you can see that as well. And think about it. Think about how you can combine different molds, different cutters. Because I was laying these pieces out when I was doing it, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about with like this one. So let me just, this is the number 1. Let me do a little skinnier. I'll do a number 2. So I did the second thickest setting on my pasta machine on this one. Okay, so I had this, that's that size. Do you want to go smaller? I'll go bigger. And then, again, you want to cut your design. Then you want to use your plunger cutter. And there you have it. And when I did this, I like to offset it. So I'll lay that down and make sure the points go in between the others. And I just like the look of that. It kind of gives it a really cool florally look. And then you could even, you know, bounce up, you know, make it come up like this, like a flower, or you can leave it flat. Just don't mess it up while you're doing it, like I just did. And there you have it. Super, super cute, super, super easy. And you could add a crystal in the center. I had one here. Where's that? Oh, here it is. Look at how pretty this was. I just did the gold clay, as you can see here on the back. It's just the gold clay, and then I used the smaller cutter and cut out there, and then I used a big blue crystal in the center, poked a hole because I was thinking this would make something really pretty hanging, you know, to hang from a necklace or something. And that's as simple as it is to create these really cool designs. So let's just recap. Let me move this out of the way so you know what I did. And this, and actually these are just powder pigments that I placed on here as well. And I'll finish the top. Let's see. Let's do that now. Let's go. What color would be good with that? Well, maybe we'll just go with the purple again. And you can get these little trays to put your powder pigments in, pan pastels rather. And you can just paint it any which way you want. And I wasn't being too careful with this because I wanted these colors to blend. So I just did a little bit. And a little goes a long way with these pan pastels. And then I came back. You need to clean off your brush or use a different one if you're going with a different color. And then I kind of just went around the edges here. And that's how I was able to blend these colors together. You know, because otherwise it would just look a little harsher. And there you have that. Super simple yet really cute. And then you could add a crystal in the center. You could even take a piece from a mold, another mold or something, and put in the center. We could even use a little dot of clay. Let's see. Let me put a little ball of clay in the middle. Press down on that. Can texture the center with our stylus tool. So anything, sky is the, you know, the limit, and just let your imagination roam with this, because really, look at how gorgeous those are. I mean, I just love them. I mean, 2 completely different looks out of just, you know, playing around with these different colors. So that's those cutters. Like I said, it's a set of 5 graduated sizes. And then again, here is our butterfly. Super simple to do and really pretty. It creates like a filigree look. That's what the look is. And then this one was, that was using a round cookie cutter, the smallest of the square cutters. And then I used the 2 molds. This one here, which was right here. And again, you could have used it. I could have used that if I wanted to, but I didn't. And then this mold here, which was the rose mold. It's got a rose, and I just used the edges for here. And I used this for the top part, and extra pieces for these square ones. And that's it. That's how simple all these fun things are. I just wanted to show them to you so you had an idea of how to use them. And I hope you have a lot of fun playing around with these different tools And think about if you have molds in your repertoire of how you can change them up and use pieces from this and pieces from that to get a whole really cool different look. So just have fun with it and play around, and come on over to polymerclaytv.com so that you can get your 30% off in the shop. You don't want to miss that. It's only good till this Saturday, which is the day before Father's Day. Father's Day is Sunday, so happy Father's Day if any of you are fathers out there. And don't forget that Polymer Clay Adventure is still going on. You can sign up for that all year long. You won't miss a thing. And we have a live event coming up on July 3rd, too. So have fun. And thanks for joining us at Polymer Clay TV. And thanks for making these first 8 years so wonderful and such an adventure. Take care. See you next time.